Today we're here with Team 16818 Hypebirds from Mexico, and we're super excited to talk to you guys about your journey through the season in Robot. So I'm Arnav. I'm the captain and build lead of Team Z.I.P Ties.
My name's Prithvi. I'm a builder on the team.
Hi, it's great to see you guys. My name's Oscar. I'm one of the co-captains of the team.
My name is Amanda, and I'm also one of the co-captains of the team.
And my name is Miguel, and I am part of the engineering team.
Awesome. So jumping into a first question, on the day that the season came out, what were your guys' initial thoughts and sort of reactions to how the game was going to turn out?
So we did like a kickoff with just our team and the rookie members. We had just had a bunch of new members join, so it was really important for us for them to see the season being announced and like kind of get their opinion. I joined the team kind of later on last season, so I had never seen like the release of a game, so it was really interesting like seeing the different strategies that all of the team was coming up with all at once. I think that's like my main takeaway from that experience.
Mm-hmm.
That's cool.
Yeah, it was also like really interesting watching the kickoff together because we usually do like different dynamics. Like, okay, this is the kickoff, mm, the season itself. So, what's the vibe for social projects, and what are we going to do? Like the brainstorming for the robot and everything. So it was a really fun experience, and also it was really like, I mean, almost every kickoff is like really shocking and exciting. Watching, especially for me, the end game was really interesting with the ascent and
Yeah.
everything. So yeah.
Yeah, by the part of the elevator, I think it was very interesting. Yeah, especially looking if we were going to implement it or not in a robot because it is a very complex part, and yeah, it takes a lot of effort to make that work well and consistently.
Mm-hmm, for sure.
Also, we were talking about the strategies. We were talking about if the order was important, if it was better to score more, if it was better to put something that organized the artifacts, something that um, I don't know, whatever. And we made like a huge brainstorm. We made like separate groups of people, and each group came out with some ideas, and we took in count all of them, and we saw what would the robot could be that season, basically this season. Yeah.
For sure. It was really similar here. As soon as we got the game challenge, we definitely did a lot of brainstorming, especially on the game strategy side of it. We were wondering whether we should prioritize scoring more balls for the ranking point or the motif ranking point. We decided to implement an indexer on a robot for a motif. So what did you guys decide to go with?
We don't have an indexer. We chose to do like just go for volume scoring. I think it was because of the region. Most Mexican teams do. The ones that focus on indexers, they have much slower robots.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I think it definitely was a conversation that we had to have, and it was a very like it took a while to decide, but we did decide to, especially to maximize space within the robot. We chose not to go for the indexer.
Yeah, also our more experienced team members were looking for what other teams were making. So yeah, not only people from here from Mexico, also from other countries that already had some competences. So yeah, they got kind of inspired by that part of seeing that performance.
Yeah, we had a similar sort of trying to see what other teams in our league would do. I think a lot of teams in our area mainly went for like a simple kitbot type of robot or just straight like outtaking. There's very few teams who dealt with any sorting mechanisms. One of the like ours works as like a drum sorting system, so we have three different indexes and then a spinning sorter which can like isolate different artifacts. And then I think another team has this system that has like three different slots to contain it, and then individual flickers. So it's been super interesting seeing like the various different designs, and seeing how every team has a different game strategy in a way. Where like some teams are just prioritizing straight score 100 balls into the classifier versus being very precise and intentional with the pattern.
Yeah, and we've definitely seen success with both types of strategy, but we've also seen that in our league, because that there's some teams where there's a lot of physicality in our league, especially towards the more higher level matches, and we believe that since it's harder to get off more balls shot, we try and prioritize the patterns because it yields some more points for us.
Yeah, totally. Like defense was really kind of big for us. I think we noticed at the first event we went to that we were like our drivers just kind of automatically started doing a lot of defense and mainly trying to like avoid the other alliance from scoring rather than actually like scoring all that much ourselves, though we do, as I said, we are volume scorers, but it was like something that we started doing kind of unintentionally, and then it developed into more intentional as the season went on. So now we have implemented mechanisms within the robot that are actively looking to play in that defense strategy. We have this like it's kind of like a wall on the side of the robot that is like used to like both like stop other teams from making contact with the robot and kind of intercept the limelights that are used by other robots.
Is there a chance we could see that? Do you have your robot with you by any chance?
We don't have our robot
Yeah.
is in pieces in a table right
No
now.
problem.
But we have like pictures. I think we
Yeah.
have
It's
our
like our engineering portfolio.
it's like
So
this part.
Oh wow, that looks really cool.
Oh shoot, that's great.
Yeah, it's
And-
really cool.
yeah, and it's also used to, as some teams have a bit shorter shooters, like in size, like
Mhm.
it can also have the chance to block some of their shots.
Wow.
So it's
Never been considered a actual defensive wall like that on the robot. That's really unique.
yeah, it's very new.
Yeah.
Yeah, and also don't get scared by us saying that our robot is in pieces on a table. It's just that our robot is like modular, so we can like easily make it pieces and modify whichever we have to, especially now for
Yeah,
words.
and especially right now we are trying to make a lot of upgrades, so we're
Yeah.
updating right now. So
No, yeah, that's totally fair. We definitely prioritize like simplicity and modularity in our robot too, because we want to make sure that if something breaks or if we want to change something, it's pretty easy for us to do that.
So then also one like programming question: what kind of things do you guys do on the auto to make it like super fast? And when you do have the auto, how much do you guys score?
I don't have like very precise information, but I know that we have a limelight that aligns itself with the
goal.
with the goal, so it just basically aligns itself and shoots. We also have like a little weight that goes. It's more like hardware, but goes with the shooter that maintains kind of the momentum that it has.
So like
So
a
that
flywheel of sorts?
Yeah.
I flywheel. Yeah, that's the word. So yeah, that's really helpful, because we can just keep spinning the shooter, and it also does not consume a lot of energy. And also for the programmation, we have P and D controllers.
Yeah.
We avoided the integral part because it wasn't very useful, because our turret would fail basically. So yeah, and
Yeah, you unfortunately got not the programmer today.
Yeah.
So
That's
That's
okay.
fine.
but I think I know we use Pedro pathing.
Mm.
And
Yeah. We use the bots for odometry,
Oh
the
yeah,
odometry
the
bots,
odometry bots.
and yeah, we use two odometry bots in order to get much more precision and to get yeah the correct positioning of the robot and the correct orientation. Um, what else?
I
Yeah, you got bad luck for that question.
I think before we move into outreach, is there just anything cool on the robot that we haven't talked about so far that you'd like to point out?
something I'm really into is that the driver's controls have like the robot has little LED lights that turn on whenever the shooter has enough revolutions to like actually get the balls into the goal, and the driver's controllers like shake a little bit, which is really cool. I'm not a driver, but they've let me drive the robot, and it's really cool like having that connection with it.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's like my personal favorite part of it.
Mhm.
Yeah, they're part of the haptic science that the robot has, so that our drivers can focus more and get a very good notion of what the robot is doing right now. Yeah.
Yeah. So how do you guys prioritize like driver practice and making sure you have enough time for all that stuff? Because I know like what ends up usually happening is you get the robot done like there's a couple days before competition, and then it's just like a rush to get driver practice. So how do you guys, try to mitigate that?
You know, we really had that issue last season, I think.
Yeah.
But now, so the drivers are also very much so the leads of the build team,
Mhm.
and they're very obsessive guys. I admire them a lot.
Yeah.
But they are very focused and very hardworking people,
Mhm.
and because they are the drivers, they are very interested in having that practice time. So they do really put in the work to have the robot done, often weeks before competition. Obviously, not always, but like I can say that, like at least for the first event we went to, the robot was done about 2 weeks before the actual competition. After that, it was kind of because the events were closer together,
Yeah, for
there
sure.
were more implementations, but it is I think it's like a very impressive thing that they have,
Mhm.
where they really just put in their all, and they work a lot with like their times at which they're available. And I don't know, I'm not part of the build team, so I think that's a really admirable thing of them.
Yeah.
No, that's awesome.
That's really cool. Yeah.
Like I just remember like beginning the season we had a talk about like trying to set limit times and dates for everything, specifically for building the robot. And there were we like mm, co-captains and everything, and those like the drive team and that are like the main builders.
Mhm.
And we were like, how many time do you wanna like set for building the robot? Like, I don't know, a month or like that. And they were like, well, if we like come every day for I don't know how many hours, we can get it on a week. And we're like, wait, hold on. Especially because like as Oscar was saying, last season, specifically for words,
Mhm.
drive team, we had like last season I was part of the drive team. We had just like 2 days before going towards just to
Okay.
practice, and it was like really really short time. And right now it's like really great.
Nice.
Yeah.
You're really focused and determined.
Yeah. So were you guys at Worlds last year?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah.
I don't know if we got a chance to meet you guys there, but yeah.
That's great. Yeah.
Hopefully we can meet you guys again this year.
Yeah.
Too.
So moving into outreach, what do you guys think is the coolest outreach event that you guys have?
Well, okay.
First,
Yeah, we have just started an initiative that we're really proud of, and it's still like in its early stages,
Mhm.
but it's called First Latam, and it's for Latin American teams. And we are basically wanting to not only like obviously create a unified community of Latin American teams, but also create like real support that is like kind of harder to get.
Mhm.
Um, for Latin American teams, even like Mexico is a very like we're very lucky. We are quite like a big region in terms of first, and we do get quite a lot of support from like most teams get support from like their schools and stuff like that. But that doesn't necessarily happen in other Latin American teams.
Mhm.
So we do really want to make like first a little bit more accessible. Right now, we're working with Curiosity to. They have like these resources that they've made for like beginner teams, and we are working to translate them to Spanish. And generally, like working to make more resources that are originally in Spanish
Yeah.
because like it's just that's like a thing that we're really passionate about. So I'd
Mhm.
say that's the biggest outreach program right now.
Yeah, also I really like this about First Latam that we have many areas for outreach on our team. Yeah. So almost or just like literally all of the areas can relate to First Latam.
Yeah.
So like we have these called ecobirds for ecology type of projects, and we're working on uh, oh
Field?
yeah, on a field
Mhm.
like recycled field with PVC and that stuff to give to another team
Oh, that's awesome.
That's really cool.
to help them because it's not like
Yeah.
that easy to get the field. So yeah, we're working on that, and also we have another area that's Total Cali. It's a weird name, but it is of like STEAM education in
Mhm.
general, and with that area we're working in like videos and like online courses
Mhm.
originally in Spanish of in general STEAM and also like first specific
Mhm.
also to be able to communicate it and give them the Latam teams this kind of resources. So I really like that almost that almost every area can have a project related to First Latam.
Yeah.
So yes,
That's really cool.
That's awesome. I think
thank you.
I mean, listening to your guys' outreach, you guys have a really big emphasis on just getting as many resources to people as possible, which is like is awesome. Yeah, we have like similar sort of goals where we're trying to really expand like funding for First in general with like advocacy and like getting funding from the government back to Florida First teams. So that's something that we're trying to do and get the ball rolling with other Florida teams as well.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Um.
really cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So then another aspect of like the outreach sides, how do you guys make sure that your team is sustainable and you're getting your budget, all the finances, and like really develop your team as a whole?
We have a lot of. Sorry. Do you
Yeah.
want to say something?
You can
Okay.
start. You can start.
Sorry.
Yeah, of course.
But yeah, it's like kind of it's been an issue the whole season that like we constantly feel like we don't have enough money.
Mm-hmm.
As I said, like our build team is very, very ambitious and they have these like great big ideas and it's kind of hard having to be like, no, we can't afford that.
Mm-hmm.
So we have been working a lot um trying to get like all these different sponsors. We have this event that we organize in our school with Six Flags
Mm-hmm.
where they like close it down for a day and we sell tickets to students in our school
That's awesome.
and
That's pretty cool.
kind of we make money that way. So that's like a big source of income for us. But yeah, I can say like we're doing good, but it has been an issue. Also, our school we do like semi regular sales,
Mm-hmm.
and we usually sell like flower bouquets. that are like personalized, and that's really cool. We don't. That's very much so not like one of the main sources of income,
Mhm.
but it is. It's one of like I think most of our favorite ones because we get to like be at the stand and like
Mhm.
making flower bouquets, and that's really cool.
Do you guys get to ride the rides at Six Flags?
Yeah, when we go this year, I didn't go, but yeah, like
That's
usually
awesome
we
though.
do.
That's a lot of
Yeah,
fun.
that does sound like a lot of fun.
What we do is we try to like apply to grants and things. So like so I think NASA has like a grant. There's like Lockheed Martin grants, and then also just like local STEM companies. So like if there's a machine shop nearby, we'll ask them, hey, can you cut our parts for us? And we can like put your sponsorship on our T-shirts and like help advertise your brand, or like things like that. Where we're trying to build a connection with the company.
Yeah, especially at outreach events that we go to, especially like the big conferences with a lot of companies, we want to make sure that we like try and reach out to a lot of people and talk with all the like STEM professionals that come by us, and we look for like sponsorship as well as mentorship from them. Uh, yeah, that's just some of the ways that we're getting
Yeah.
sponsors.
Yeah, I think like getting mentorships from like all of these different like STEM professionals is also a really big deal for us.
Mm-hmm.
We're lucky enough that our school is also a university, so
Mm-hmm.
we have like quite easy access to like speaking to university professors,
Yeah.
which is really good for like training new members with like skills that maybe we don't have yet or that like we have but it's not enough so that we can teach it to them.
Yeah.
So that's like really valuable, yeah.
It's also so much fun. I know we went to one professional this summer, and he showed us like his entire lab where he had like all these prosthetic devices, all these like robotics arms and things that he was doing with like vision. And it's just so much fun to see, like sort of with like the whole first program in general. It's a lot of fun when you're in it, competing, going to outreach events, doing that. But then also, there's this end goal of like doing this in a real life setting and seeing that outcome and how awesome it is just a blast for me personally.
Yeah, it is really fun to do, to see stuff like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really interesting, like having this opportunity to talk
Mhm.
and connect with all of these STEM professionals and in general professionals that can mentor us.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really interesting because each one of them has a lot of things that to teach us.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of ways in which we could apply it to first and everything.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, for sure.
Only for robotics, also like for socials and outreach.
Yeah. Sort of backtracking. One thing I just remembered is, have you guys seen the new update that is coming to the rev control systems and the motors and things? I don't know
Hmm.
if you guys have checked that out.
Oh,
I don't.
Maybe our drivers have, but personally, we.
Okay, well, just for like a little bit of background, I think in the future, like in 2031 or something, so way past my time, I don't have to deal with it, but
Yeah.
um, they're rechanging all the control hubs to be like this new system, and then instead of being like servos and like
Motors.
various motors, it's all like one single motor that you use for servo input, motor input, rather than that. So I don't know if I explained it fully, but taking that idea, what do you guys think that's gonna like do for the program as a whole? Seeing like changing from this new rev system where like you have all these different sensors and motors and switching to like one common type of actuator.
Hmm.
I mean, I guess it's a way of democratizing it a little bit.
Yeah.
Like, I, I would guess that's like kind of the reason why they're doing it. Um, but like, I don't know. It sounds weird to me. I think it is both like a way of yeah, like democratizing it, making like the valuable part of the robot be kind of the rest of the build.
Mm-hmm.
But I do think it takes a little bit from the creativity that's available
Mm-hmm.
from like having all these different elements and getting to like mix them however you feel like
Yeah.
or your team strategy. I don't know. I'm kind of conflicted on it.
Yeah, I definitely like the fact that it increases accessibility to a lot of teams because a big
Yeah.
thing we do here is trying to like spread out first more, give more accessibility to people. But I do also agree with the fact that I feel like with one motor and stuff, it's kind of limiting on what you can do.
Yeah, but I think, like you mentioned before, like the democratization aspect of it. I know there's a lot of teams who might feel like demotivated because, like, you know, like you get the best axons or like, you know, all these fancy parts. So I think it does a really good job at making it accessible to everyone, where like no one feels like, hey, I can't be a competitive team because I don't have a certain servo. Everyone is sort of in the same situations, and I think, yeah, it'll take away a bit from the variance of the designs, but it'll also help. I think it'll be really interesting seeing how teams adapt to the new motor design, rather than like just sort of adapt to the new motor design, working around that, and like the constraints that come with that will be really interesting.
Yeah, I think there's definitely like something to be said for like having to work within limits and the creativity that can come from that. I think it'll be interesting. I'm kind of thankful that I won't have to deal with it, but it'll
Yeah.
be fun to watch.
Yeah, well,
Yeah, I agree completely. Like, it sounds pretty cool, just exactly in terms, as you were saying, in terms of accessibility and everything. But like at the moment of the build, I'm like really confused about how could we like fix everything
yeah,
in one. So it will be really interesting to see what the members of the team on that time do with it.
yeah. So I mean, do you guys want to ask any questions to us? Like, it's
Yeah.
back and forth, sort of. Feel free to.
Um, what? Well, I mean, it's kind of the question you asked us, but like, what would you say is like the coolest part of your robot?
The coolest part of a robot. So I think right now, the coolest part is actually something he designed. He's super proud of it, but is the turreting mechanism. So right now, we just for our state championship, we just added a turreting mechanism and are trying to like super optimize it. But I think like really the coolest part is seeing how that turreting mechanism optimizes with our drum. So right now we have a sorting system at the bottom and then a turreting system like right mounted above it, and it's like a super, we've never done like this side of the turret on the team before, and seeing how like all the parts just sort of flow together is my favorite part, and then how it just helps us overall with the game challenge too.
I like you said, the turning system, but it's more the overall picture, because the intake of our robot, like from the intake to the transfer to the drum to the outtake, it's all one very smooth motion. Throughout the season, there's always been like, for example, like dead spaces in the intake, or just some things that made it not as smooth and just not as efficient. But the way it is now, it just allows a really seamless transfer of the ball, and I just really like that. It's just really satisfying to see.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that especially on first overall, it is very good to see that what you have done worked very well.
Yeah.
You know, like the satisfaction of
Seeing everything come together is it's the best feeling ever.
Yeah, and all of the effort involved and all
Yeah.
that, it's completely reflected on your results, of course.
No, yeah,
And
100%.
Yeah, that's definitely one of my favorite parts at first, because like there's only so much that you can visualize in CAD. Like, although there is the 3D model right there, it's not actually there. It's on the screen. And I talked with the programmers too. They used to like program and make stuff with Java before, but seeing it actually on the robot is a completely different experience than just having it on your computer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is a bit of a smaller question, but I was just wondering, what software do you use to CAD?
So we use SolidWorks. So it honestly kind of depends on the situation. Sometimes, like, if I'm CADing at school or something, then I'll open up OnChip on like the web browser. But typically we use SolidWorks. It just gives us like a lot of features that we don't have elsewhere, like all the element analysis tools, and then also like simulation and assembly features that are just super helpful for us when it comes to like rendering, testing out a design, seeing how structurally stable it is, things like that.
Yeah.
Actually, could you excuse me for 1 second? I have to get a charger for my laptop.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What do you guys use?
Yeah, we just like switched over to Onshape, and we're kind of not like struggling, but it's kind of,
A new
I don't know. It's
environment.
Uh-huh.
definitely a new environment. Like the more like experienced designers on our team are kind of annoyed with it because they don't feel like they have like the freedom that they have with SolidWorks. So yeah, I
Uh,
think it's
what are you coming from? Like,
uh SolidWorks.
oh,
Yeah,
you came from SolidWorks to Onshape. Why'd you guys
it,
decide to make the switch?
Um,
well, it's basically about getting the access to Fusion because it sometimes um, we do have the access with the institutional account, but sometimes it complicates a bit, and we have to make some calls and things that are not like very comfortable. And when we first tried this season to teach new members to use CAD, we tried to use Fusion, and there was a lot of inconvenience in that aspect
Hmm.
of downloading the software by itself. And we think Fusion is a very accessible option, and it's very easy to use. It's easy to learn, and it's also very easy to share documents and all of that.
Unshape.
On Shape,
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
sorry.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's basically like kind of talking about the sustainability of our team. We realized that like it's kind of it's like the easier kind of option to teach to new members. So
Hmm.
yeah,
For
it
sure.
was
When we first get new members on our team, we teach them like the basic principles of CAD. That's like the same for all programs through Onshape because it's just easy to get it on their computer, easy to get it started up really quickly. But when they start getting more proficient in it, we do like to move to SolidWorks.
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
we might be doing that. I don't know how like I don't know how long we can sustain just using Onshape because it is kind of
Yeah.
more it kind of limits you, I think.
Yeah, just a little. I think one thing I really like about Onshape though is like the features option, where like
Mm,
anyone can sort of make their own custom function and then put it on Onshape for anyone to use. I think one super useful one that I use all the time is like the pocketing function. It's just
mm.
like you can pocket things like that. It's super simple, super easy. That's probably my favorite part about Onshape.
Yeah, it's very practical. And also, a very good point of OnShape is the public design. So you can also see what other people are doing
Yeah.
and kind of base yourself on it.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Well, like backtracking a little bit, like before when we asked you like about your favorite thing of the robot, and then you mentioned like your favorite thing of first. What's like the thing you love the most about going to works and the experience in general?
Going to Worlds?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, for me, it's easy. Just like the people that you meet. I think I this year in the past few years, like I haven't had as much time to like go around the pits and see everyone. You know, mainly working on the robot and all that stuff. But just seeing how many people are like all competing and sort of working to like the same common goal of like getting first and access to everyone is just like super cool. And also just like the competitive aspect, like everyone, you know, going full just straight drive mode, like lock in. But then also like the gracious professionalism aspect where you're still helping people out.
Yeah, he kind of stole my answer. I definitely like seeing all the innovation at Worlds, but I really like the energy and the vibe that's there because it's a very competitive event. It's essentially like a big like sports tournament if you really think about it that way because it's such high level robots and such high level teams that have they've put so much in to come to Worlds so that you know that they're all about it and just seeing all that come together in one place at one time is just a completely different energy. It's nothing I've ever seen
Yeah.
before.
Also following like some of the top teams on like Discord and things like that, and then seeing them in person at Worlds is just also a great experience.
Yeah. I really love like well I have just been more in the words like once, but I really loved also like the environment and meeting a lot of people and all the different projects and
Mhm.
their design for robots that each team can have. It's like really like wow a lot of things and not only like on FTC, like also going to see an FRC match
Mhm.
or the FLL teams. Also, it's like a lot of people, a lot of projects, and everything
Yeah.
is just so amazing and exciting.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think it's like kind of easy to say that like first is like this like very big initiative and it's like in all these countries, but to actually see it and like
Mhm.
the physicality of it is kind of insane. And I mean, as I said, like I joined the team like on the latter half of the season. So actually the first competition I ever went to was Worlds.
Oh wow.
It was an insane experience.
That's a
Like
crazy first competition.
Yeah.
The bar is set so high. It's just like
yeah, it definitely put the pressure on me this season to like get there again. But yeah, it was just like an amazing experience to see like the sheer amount of creativity that everyone has,
Mhm.
and like you said, like the passion that like obviously every team has to have to even get there. And yeah, I totally agree that like the energy is great and it's just like it's almost like a magical place.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
I think just starting to like wrap it up a little. One
Yeah.
final question I want to ask you is if you have any advice to rookie teams who are looking at the podcast and trying to get like a any motivation for next year or even like this year going to their next competition, what would it be?
I think it's like putting the work in and like really giving it your all. I mean, I think like obviously there are a lot of things that are like harder to just get right on your first try, like all these like technical aspects, actually building a robot. But I think that it's definitely, I mean, we've done it and it is possible.
Yeah.
So I would say to like keep in mind that it is like doable. You can succeed and just like try to give it your all and show passion for it. I think it's the most valuable thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, like more or less similar. It's like don't give up
Mhm.
if you love this. That it's really easy to love all of the first stuff. Um, Keep going. Everything good takes time, so don't give up. Just continue doing what you have passion for, and you will make it to whichever is your objective if
Mhm.
you keep like determined. So yeah, please give yourselves time to do what you want to do.
Yeah. And like it's okay to mess up.
Yeah, also
It's okay to not get it right the first time. Just keep going.
Yeah.
we learn more from mistakes than from success. So it's alright to mess it up sometimes.
Yeah, awesome. Thank you so much, guys. That was great advice, and it was such a blast talking to you. We hope to see you in Worlds in April. But best of luck to you guys for the rest of your season.
Best of
Thank
luck to
you.
Thank
you. Thank you
you.
for inviting us.
Yeah, so great
Thank you.
having you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. See
See
you.
you.
See you.
See you.